What's going on, everybody? Coach Chrispect, the wise guy on Instagram. We are live. Let's see how many seconds it's going to take to have somebody on notifications get inside the group on the live. So we're 15, 18. See who's got their notifications on. Yeah, you got your notifications on, right on. 2 notifications. Respect. How many more notifications do we got? How many more? We got 2 notifications. What's going on, Giggle Giggles? Love it. Wise guy. Make sure you DM me. You win a prize. So send me a direct message on the wise guy on Instagram, and I'll let you know what your prize is. Who's the other person on that had their notifications? Leave a message right now. I got 2. So you win. So I got my mask on, and we are going to go. I actually prepared for this. I'm early, and I'm prepared to do 4 topics today, and I'll tell you what those are. I don't normally ever wear a mask. And you don't Instagram? Well, I don't know how you can message me then. How about Facebook? Facebook Messenger. Send me a message on Facebook Messenger, Coach Chrispect. The topics for today involve this mask and this tie-dye and what else? And me doing it while we're live. So we're going to talk about 4 things. We are going to talk about number 1. I put the number 1 topic. What homemade things, see, this don't even stay on my nose. It's so silly. What homemade things sell best online? What homemade things sell the best online? Topic number 2 is going to be how, and I said this last night at the end of my videos, these are the topics that I'm going to do. So just a refresher. How can I get rich quick? Topic number 3, what are the 7 streams of income? We'll talk about all 7. And then topic number 4, how many Amazon sellers make over $100,000? So there's my notes. And so for the first one, really what we're talking about is homemade things. So I was in Dollarama, of course, today. I was in Dollarama and actually ordered these up for my staff. They're obviously a mask. They're like a microfiber mask. And we got on the topic yesterday of making things to sell. What can we sell? What sells fast? How can we make money quickly? What services do I have that I can offer? I mean, I offered a service up yesterday, and it was obviously a home run. I had people contacting me left and right. Chris, I want to sign up. Let's go. So I got a bunch of let's goes and set up a bunch of services and revenue, and I'll be finding them 3 of them. And they can have all 3. And when they pick one, I'll do bullets on one, and we'll do the photos on the other, and all that stuff. And it's been nothing but a let's go scenario. So, what is Giggle saying? Can't send branding sometimes. Blah blah blah. Trying to set up brand. Right on. We can talk about branding. I did talk about that a little bit, but we can go into that in more detail today. I'll definitely talk about that for you. I'll give you some ideas to help you there. You are also saying non-branded from China. Can I make them my brand? Yes, you absolutely can make them your brand. They'll do OEM, which essentially means rebranding the products for yourself. Yeah, I mean, the whole purpose of importing stuff is that you can create your own brand. It's the whole point. You know, you want to manufacture to make a product for you, even if it exists. You want to make that product for you, and then you want to create a brand that obviously is an attractive brand. People want to be able to see and hear your brand and like it, right? It's got to connect with people. But we'll go into that in a little bit. First topic of the day. Let's get started. What can you do to make money selling on Amazon? And the first thing was like, what can I make at home? What are things that sell? What homemade things sell best online? And this might not be one of them. This is actually just a mask, and I'm sure actually masks are one of them. Number one selling product on Amazon right now, and in the globe right now, are masks, obviously. And things to do with masks. We talked about these straps, these elastic straps, and how much money they're making people. Like this strap alone could generate $20,000 a month revenue for people if you want to do it yourself. In the early part of this video, while we chat, I'm going to take this white mask and I'm going to add some tie-dye to it. And I'm going to turn these masks into unique tie-dyed masks. And then I'm going to post it on Etsy. I'm going to post masks that I turned into tie-dye masks on Etsy, and I'm going to see if I can double my profit. So I spent $4 on the mask plus tax plus $1.25. I don't know how many masks I can make with one of these. Probably can do, I mean, whole bottle, I probably can do like 10. So it's like 10 cents each. So really it's about $4.50, $4.60 cost. And we'll see what people want to buy these masks for afterwards. And I'll try different platforms, Facebook Marketplace, wherever. I'll throw them up. And we'll see what people want to pay. Who knows? I might have to adjust my price 10 times. And we'll see. And I bet you we'll sell multiples too. But just, again, ideas. I wrote down 10. But in the description section of my video down below, once this video is over, I'm going to upload a list of 100 products that I found that people can make themselves and sell online. I wrote down 10. The first 10, clothing obviously hits there. Wooden toys. Number 3 was handbags. Number 4 was hair accessories. Number 5 was greeting cards. Number 6 was logo t-shirts. Number 7 was scented candles. Number 8 was gift baskets, which I kind of talked about, surprise, whatever you call them yesterday. Number 9 was pillows. Number 10 was artwork. So, I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard, or it's, you know, you've either bought some of that stuff or you've heard people selling that stuff. So it obviously makes sense that that stuff is in demand. So, and again, this video is really to just inspire you. That this first part of the video is just inspire you that you just got to start. If you want to make money selling online, it's pretty straightforward. You just need to have that computer and get crack-a-lacking. So it's been a while since I tie-dyed, but I remember first point on a tie-dye thing, you're supposed to clean these because apparently there's something in these that prevent the tie-dye from taking on like t-shirts. I don't know if they did it on this, so I'm not going to clean these because I don't have time, but I'm going to bundle these up. You're going to squish them up, and I'm just going to read your comments while I'm squishing them up. Giggles is going off. So, yay, yes, you can brand thread on your beard. Oh, yeah. Where? Somewhere? I just shave. I think they should be sparkly and bling and LED lights. Make them Disney animals, 3D animal noses. So have superheroes for the boys. Those are all great ideas. 3D girls, make them pink. Yeah, I'm going to be terrible. Whatever I come up with here right now is probably going to be like the worst ever tie-dye ever done. The worst tie-dye ever done. Now I'm going to throw my elastic band on here. Bam. I'm going to come across here. There we go. There's my little ball, my little t-shirt. There we go. We kind of stuff things in here a little bit. Oh, it's coming apart. Try that again. Make them pink so they are out already. I mean, you can't even get these in the store. It's funny. I ordered 100 off of Dollarama's website, and then had them shipped to my office for the staff who did. None of them are using them. I have a bunch of masks. I have the Canadian Tire medical, doctor's masks, face masks. I have these. No one's really using them. So just sitting around. All right, got my ball here. Now let me just aim that bad boy down a little bit. I don't know if this is gonna help. Let me move my camera back. Ta-da! There we go. At least you can see my little ball right there. Throw some paper down. And then I got my tie-dye. I've already put some warm water in there and mixed it up. It's all prepared. I'm gonna do 2. I got another one. Should I do 2 at the same time? No, I'm gonna do the second one afterwards. And I got the cheap, well, they actually gave me Ziplocs. I got Ziplocs afterwards, throw them in a Ziploc. And I got these gloves so I don't get the coronavirus. Got my gloves. Gigo says, have them and build in speakers and mic can go. So they are out already. So they are out already. Have them build in speakers and mic can go. People's ears are gonna start to look funny having them. Yeah, I know. I hear you. I hear you. My wife wears one all the time. I never wear one. I was told not to, man. They said don't bother. So I'm kind of going off of what they said. Okay, so we're gonna sell these, but again, I'm gonna throw a list of 100 things. Great website. I'll tell you what the website was. Small Biz Trends. If you look up Small Biz Trends, it's probably gonna leak through. But if you look up Small Biz Trends, you know, and ta-da. You squirt the shit out of this thing. Oh, I said shit. Now this is only an adult video on YouTube. They've separated things. Now I got, and the worst thing about doing this is fact. I'm colorblind. I don't really give you the light colors. You can get it right in there. I gotta get it like right in there. Supposed to be like liberal with these things. All right. And then, so I'm colorblind. Honestly, I don't even know what colors I'm squirting on there. I always have to ask my kids what color is what. Like that. It's all looking black. It's like looking like one big black mess. This is not gonna work. This is not gonna work. No way. It's just gonna be probably. The next one I'm gonna do just drizzles. This one I'm like going off, squirting it right in there. Okay, there we go. Then you're supposed to leave it for like 6 to 8 hours. I'm gonna go a little bit more here. 6 to 8 hours. This is gonna be just a black mask now. Supposed to leave it for 6 to 8 hours, and then there you go. I got a mask. I guess if the product doesn't turn out, no one's gonna want to buy any of these. Do-it-yourself tie-dye face masks made by an Amazon FBA seller. There we go. Evidence. There's one. All right. So there you go. And now my second one right here. We're off. Okay, what's going on, Black Stack? Shout out to Black Stack. 3D were around last year. 3D what? 3D printers? 3D masks? You're probably talking about 3D printers since that's what we talked about yesterday. The 3D ones what? It goes, you that project, you need to see last homely house Okay, I'll check it out. Oh, are they masks? Yeah, they're masks. Well, you should have known, right? All right, we're here. We're here. I'm gonna throw my camera over a little bit. All right. Okay, with this one, I think I'm gonna do like crumple style. Let's do a different type of crumple. Let's do like a little bigger on the crumple, and I'm gonna like do dots. This is kind of like, man, this has been a long week. I've been awake. This is I don't even consider this as work, but I've been awake at 8 a.m. every day and going to sleep on average 3 o'clock a.m. So like 5 hours of sleep a day. So I've been like working 14-hour days every day of the week. Right now, well, for the last 6, because I've been staying up doing these YouTube videos, half asleep YouTube videos, YouTube lives, chatting. Been going off. Night, everyone. Thanks for the fun. Good night. Tune in later when I actually talk about relevant stuff to Amazon or selling online or making money, how to make money. But enjoy this because you'll never see me do this again. Unless somebody says they want to buy this mask right now for $30 off of me, let me know. In fact, this is the prize for people who got their notifications on and were in on this live first. I'm going to send you my mask. Sending it to you. And then I'll buy it back from you. And we'll make a deal. So if Giggles, message me on Facebook, you win yourself a mask. Message me. And then we'll talk. I'll give you a free consultation as well. So whatever you want to know, we'll do an hour consultation free. And that's your prize today. So, but you have to message me on Facebook. Leave that up to you. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to do that. That's all I'm going to do with that one. That's it. Let's get some in there. Maybe some in there. Didn't really use much of this stuff, so this stuff can last forever. This is so kid. This is so grade 1. All right, that's it. That's all I'm doing on that one. Sticking this into Ziploc bag number 2. Should have wore gloves. What am I doing? Now my hands are like a different color. 18 minutes of tie-dyeing for you guys. Drop the evidence in the bag. Wait 6 hours. Wash and wear. So I'll show you guys this later or on Instagram. You guys can follow me and I will post these for you. There we go. All right, let's stick these into here. Save those for later. Throw this in the garbage, throw this in the garbage. All right, topic number 2. So, homemade stuff. I'm gonna send you a list of 100 things. Post that on. They'll help you. It'll help you, motivate you to do stuff like this. Takes you into 18 minutes to make a mask and chat at the same time. I could have made 10 of those. I could have made 100 of those. Easily, I could have made 100 of those. What would I sell those for? $9.99? Make $3-4 a mask? I don't know. $20? Is that gouging? Homemade mask? I don't know. Who knows? Who knows if there's a market for that? It's my merch. Merch by Coach. That's my merch. I'm gonna put that's gonna be the first thing on my merch store. So I'll drop a link to this merch later on. Okay, let's get down to it. How can I get rich quick? How can I get rich quick? These are things that I don't think about. Because it's more of just like a journey for anybody. I'm sure it's like a journey for anybody who has great ideas or who's working hard, staying up late, waking up early. I think there are some principles or fundamental things that you have to become. You have to kind of you have to work. You have to clock in and clock out. What you do is obviously going to depend on how much wealth you want to create for yourself. This question of how can I get rich quick is kind of a question. Well, there is no get rich quick. Everyone says that, but it all ties into the third question that I said earlier, which was what are the 7 streams of income? Because I've said this many times, you got to operate in at least 2, if not 3 streams of income, have 3 streams of income going at the same time in order for you to create some wealth. You have to have 3 streams of income at the same time in order for you to create wealth and get rich. The quicker you can do it, the faster you will get rich. Okay, so if you operate slow, like I do a lot of the times, I'm not in a rush, so I don't look. If I did things 3 times or 4 times as fast and duplicated what I've already done, I would definitely be a multimillionaire. Smash that like button if you want to be a multimillionaire. But I don't operate at that speed personally, but some people do. So if that's you, if you're that person who operates like just a go-getter and just ready to put in the work, ready to start and has some cash flow and is ready to keep trying and learn and take advice, you could get there a lot faster than a lot of people. But you got to know the 7 types of income streams, and you got to operate in the ones that produce wealth while you're sleeping, while you're doing another stream of income. You got to continually grow your portfolio, right? So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the 7 streams of income. What are they? Who knows what the 7 streams of income are? The first one obviously is earned. Everybody knows what earned income is. Earned income is your job, right? Your job, your work, your salary, those type of income. An income that you trade time for money is an earned income. I currently have an earned income. Investments is another one, correct? The earned income, and we'll go in order of importance right now. I'll tell you them in order of importance. So earned income is the first one. Let me just adjust this, bring this a little bit closer. Okay. The next one is your profit, a profit income. And really what a profit income is like, I make most of my money from profit income. I sell things to make an income. I'm an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs fall into a profit income category. Whether you're selling a service or you're selling a product, though that is considered a profit income. So you got earned income and then you have profit income. The money you make from selling something is considered profit income. Okay. The third income stream, the next, okay, and we're going into another, quadrant, if you will, is interest income. Exactly what Gigo said. I think Gigo said it is interest income. Yeah. No, you said investment income. And investment income is like the 4th one or the 5th one. But interest income is when your money is working to make you money. So if you put money in a bank, it's making some interest, probably not making much interest, but it's making some interest. When you're using your money to make you money and you're earning interest off of that money, that is considered interest income. And it really all depends on what your investment is. And that will dictate how much money you make on interest from your actual investment. Okay. Who knows what the 4th one is? More powerful than interest income is dividend income. Okay. And dividend income is when you invest in something like a business or a company, And your investment is a shareholder investment. So when you actually invest in something, you now own shares in that company is now going to pay you dividends on the income or money that you invested. So shareholder income or dividend income is a much more powerful income than investment income or interest income. Interest income would be. So I've been spending a lot of time looking at how I can invest my money and where I would want to put my where I could put my money, what I could put my money into that would have the best ROI for me. And I've been spending a lot of money looking at dividend income. What companies can I invest in that pay dividends that would have a decent return on the investment. If you invest smartly on X dividends, dates like blue chip companies, you can far exceed returns from dividend income than you would say from interest income. So keep that in mind. Look into dividend income. That's $1,000. What I had a quote here. Where is my quote on dividend income? Let's go here. Okay, right here. So dividend income. Yeah, here it is. Dividend income. Where am I going? Money. The better this stream of income sounds, the more ignored and neglected is this source of income. Pretty right. This is one of the key instruments that we recommend for generating adequate cash flow and still get very good income. Dividend income. Right? So then the next one, stream number 5, is rental income. Everyone is familiar with rental income. If you rent, then someone is earning rental income from you. Rental income comes from assets that you can rent out. Right? So any type of a car, a building, a house, right? Anything. People rent guitars, that's considered rental income, right? You name it. And that's the next level. Rental income requires the only problem with rental income is it requires a higher amount of cash flow. You can have $1,000 and do really well with dividend income, whereas you couldn't start a rental income with $1,000. The next one up, 6, income stream number 6 is capital gains. When any asset that you have increases in value and then you sell it, you're earning capital gains, and that's another income stream. And then royalty income is the last one. And royalty income is when you have ideas that you can that you sell, ideas or things that you've made or created, whether it be a franchise, a brand, you franchise it out, you wrote a book, you made some music, and you're making you're making income off the royalties or royalty income. So those are the 7 income streams. It's important that you try to determine what income streams you want to pursue. And in order to become rich, you have to have multiple income streams. So obviously I have investment income streams, I have earned income stream, and I have number 2, which is profit income streams. I don't make any royalty. I don't have rental property. I don't have capital gains, although our condo that we live in, we're trying to sell the entire building, and we bought in. When we bought this place, it was $200K, but now they want to sell the building, and we would earn. I think our cut would be $950,000 if they were to sell that building. So that would definitely be a capital gain. And from where I stand, I think the home that you live in doesn't fall under capital gains if you lived in there for a certain period of time. So I'm starting to spend more time learning about capital gains, obviously because I have invested interest in it. We would definitely dump this place and move out to Cultus Lake and live on the lake with, and we would just dump that money into our next place. But there was a good quote. I'm gonna share this link as well in the description. So you if you're really interested in the different income streams, you really want to pursue making yourself rich quick, you got to know this stuff. There was a quote saying essentially Warren Buffett, talk about billionaires, he makes a majority of his income from two of the categories: capital gains and dividend income, where a majority of Warren Buffett's income comes from. Bill Gates, where does he make his income? He makes his income from two of the income streams: from profit income, because he sells products, and from royalty income, because he has a lot of inventions. Okay, and he obviously makes money, royalties, off of all the things that Microsoft has invented over time. I'm going to share that. What was that? That was from LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is a great resource for publication, or great articles on LinkedIn. So definitely jump on there. How can I get rich quick selling on Amazon? You have to start. You have to create a business, and you have to do private label. Is where I would recommend people start to launch products that they've created themselves, or that they've branded themselves, and that they've done the work figuring out how much these products are going to generate. It takes work. It honestly takes some work. It takes some experience. So you have to gain all that stuff in order to become excellent at selling on Amazon. So when you're new, you have to learn. You got to learn from somebody. I've already said you got to go and study this thing. You got to go research on YouTube. You got to go watch videos. You got to get as much information as you can, but you got to start your Amazon business. Within Amazon, I always say that within Amazon, you should try to create multiple streams of income within Amazon. And I talk about the multiple ones that I have, which is obviously a prospering retail arbitrage business. We source a lot of inventory every year, selling on Amazon, buying inventory from stores and reselling it online. Thousands. We spent $50,000 just at Dollarama this year. That's not including Walmart, London Drugs, Canadian Tire, Marshalls, you name it. The list goes on. Home Depot, Shoppers Drug Mart, all these little ones that we've done here and there, record stores. The list goes on. Now we probably it's 80. It's definitely 80-20. We're spending 80% of our, so 50,000 is about 80% of what we spent, and the other 20%, 10,000 or whatever you want to say, is spent at these other stores. I don't do a ton at Walmart, but usually I'll hit the jackpot and I'll spend $500. And then I'll hit another Walmart and I'll find nothing. Or I'll find certain products that are doing well. Same thing with grocery stores right now. I'm hitting the jackpot, so I'm spending a lot of money, $300-$400 a grocery store. $1 million bill, y'all, says, Chris, do you mind me asking where you source the majority of your goods retail arbitrage from? Dollarama. Yeah, I just said it. But yes, Dollarama. So we spent $50,000 at Dollarama this year. I just shared the month of, was it April, on my Instagram, which was $4,500. But we consistently spend about $4,500 a month from Dollarama. And I want to say we probably actually spent more than $10,000 at all the other stores. I know we did. It's not really 80-20, but I know we probably spent another $25,000 at all the other stores that we've sourced in inventory from. So like I just listed, from Home Depot, like Home Depot alone, the online arbitrage I do from Home Depot on products that we already sourced, that I know that does well, that I just reorder from, that alone we've probably spent about $6,000. And because it's only a couple products, but we bought 1,000 units at least over the year of one product that's $6. So that's $6,000 right there. And then my little trips into Home Depot, not many, I'll find things here and there. Maybe I spend $500. So it's roughly around 6 grand, 7 grand there. London Drugs were there all the time buying toys. We probably did a few $1,000s, $2,000 to $4,000 during last Christmas at London Drugs. Shoppers, I'm there all the time. So I'm always buying probably $100 a month at Shoppers. Walmart, like I said, it's pockets. We're in and out. Grocery stores have been pretty busy for us. We usually doing about $150 to $300 a jump at grocery stores, and at least monthly. So I mean, if you add that all up, that's probably another $25,000, $30,000 just on all these other places that we hit up. And that is constantly growing. I mean, that grew probably over the year before by about 40 to 50% of money out. There was a point where my goal was to spend $2,000 every week, and I did that for I think 6 weeks straight before I just ran dry of places to go, or just didn't want to go and do that anymore. So that's what we're spending in the different places, and that really ties into the question of, is retail arbitrage alive? And the answer obviously is yes. If I'm spending $75,000 on retail arbitrage products, it better be alive and not dead. So that's my profit income in a nutshell. Everything that we buy, we resell, that's our profit income. I am essentially the director of operations for Fitness Town, so that's my earned income. And we have not a huge amount of investments, but we have investments, so those are investment income. But we need to dedicate more time, I think, into dividend income. I think that's where we want to go. I've been looking at day trading. Glad I didn't get into that industry. It would have sucked me dry. But dividend income is probably where we want to go, and I want to spend time, just as much time as I do on Amazon, in that world as well. Because we want to get rich. We definitely want to take this to the next level. And obviously I have courses, but all the courses that I do and all these extra, when I'm selling my services, those all fall under profit income, right? And a little bit under earned income, because I have to spend time. Whereas with my course, it's already all created. So how many income streams do you guys have? Think about that. Tell me. It's important to hold yourself accountable by telling people what you're doing, what you're going to do, and when your deadline is, and then feel embarrassed if you don't accomplish what you set out to do. How many Amazon sellers right now make over $100,000? How many Amazon sellers right now make over $100,000? That was the fourth question. How many Amazon sellers make over $100,000? And I did some research. Marketplace Pulse, pretty good website, great information, great statistics. Well, I went back to 2015. These are the .com numbers. I didn't look for .ca numbers. I'm going to, because I want to see in Canada what the numbers are. See, in Canada, my whole perception of Canada is that we are still pre-need. We have not exploded like the US with sellers. And I think in Canada, we have a lot more opportunity with products that are already really competitive in the US, that half of those products that I've looked at aren't even on the .com or the .ca. They're not even on Canada's website, but they're killing it in the US. And we're no different than them. We're just sourcing our inventory right now. US sellers are selling in our platform, but people aren't launching in our fulfillment centers locally. So does that make a difference? Well, I think so, because like anything, especially right now, when inventory runs out, and it's running out across the board, other sellers, new sellers who are on page 3 are rising to the top because they have inventory. Especially if you're going on, and I said this in the very beginning years ago, do your research on both platforms when you're trying to find products to sell in the Canadian market. Do your research in the US market, because you're going to find products that are absolutely destroying 10,000 units a month. sometimes rolling up. I'll give you an example. Years ago, I stumbled across his and hers wedding glasses. And in the US at the time, that product category, sellers were ranging anywhere between 5,000 and 10,000 units sold every month. Not in dollars, actually in units every month. Staggering amounts like $50,000 to $100,000 in revenue every month from glasses. And when I checked the Canadian market, there was barely any sellers of that product in the Canadian market. So it's like one of those things. Like, why wouldn't you not? Even though there's not showing demand in the Canadian market, why would you not take a product, one of the popular styles in the US, and bring it to the Canadian market? And I think some sellers are skeptical because it's glass, and what if it breaks, and all those concerns that people have. But there's so many people selling glassware online that I'm sure there are. I don't do it. I haven't do it. I didn't launch it. But I'm sure there are popular ways to protect your glass. And I'm sure it's all on Amazon's how-to section on their website. That's just a common one. I've seen hundreds of products that have the exact same sentiment. They're killing in the US, but no one's selling them locally on the Canadian market. So going back to Canada just being pre-knee, they haven't hit a term where their growth starts to go up. They're still kind of, they're still kind of going flat a little bit in terms of sellers and the growth of the sellers in the Canadian platform compared to the US. But I'm going to look into the amount of sellers making 100K from Amazon in Canada. So how many sellers make 100K? Well, back in 2015, the number of sellers, according to Marketplace Pulse, there were 70,000 sellers making over 100,000 on Amazon. Scan everything. What's going on, Brent? Good to see you on here. Scan everything. I scanned everything today. I was at Staples. There's another store we spent money in. Last year, we spent thousands at that store, thousands. This year, we didn't spend that much, probably not even 1,000. But it ebbs and flows, right? In 2015, 70,000 sellers made over $100,000 on Amazon. Now in 2016, that went to 100,000 sellers making $100,000 on Amazon. Okay. In 2017, that number grew to 140,000. And then in 2018, that number grew to 200,000. Now I couldn't find 2019 numbers yet, but it's like the first year was 30,000 growth. The second year was 40,000 growth. The third year was 60,000 growth. It's probably got to be a growth by 80 to 100,000 more. So I would probably suggest that in 2019 in the US, there were probably 300,000 sellers making over 100,000 on Amazon. That's just my guess. How many sellers are there on Amazon? That's a good question. I did look into this before, so let's look into it again. How many sellers are there on Amazon? Amazon has more than 2.5 million sellers actively selling on the marketplace. And is that globally? That's probably globally. They have an image here. Let's see if this image is monthly sales for Amazon sellers. There we go. This is Jungle Scout's a good resource for these infographics. Just trying to see when this particular one was dated. But 9% of average monthly sellers make 500 to 1,000. 13% do 5,000 to 10,000. We got 15% under 500. We got 10,000 to 25,000 is 15% of sellers. We got 25,000 to 50,000, 9% of the sellers. 50 to 107%, 100 to 255%, 250 plus 3%, and then there's a 2% they don't know what those sellers are doing. So interesting one. I'll keep that one. I'm going to save that. See if there's another one here. There's a lot of graphics there. So 2.5 million sellers, and 300,000 are selling over 100 or earning over 100,000. So what is that? 300,000 divided by 2,500,000 equals 12%. So 12% of Amazon sellers are making over $100,000 on Amazon. Kind of accurate with it, what I just read off. Not bad. Just got back from the dollar store, scanned everything. Nice. What'd you find? Books, 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 books. Bundles, 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 bundles. So what are you guys running into right now that you guys need help with? Let me know. Who's started their Amazon business? Let me know. I'd be curious to know who's started their Amazon business. Again, the whole purpose of this channel right now is to grow this channel. So subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Subscribe. Turn on your notification bell, and giving away prizes to those who show up in this channel in the first 30 seconds. I'm going to pick one of you guys and give you a prize. So hit me up on Instagram. Today's prize winners will win themselves. Brent, I made these beautiful tie-dye face masks. Check those out. Those are going to be ready in 6 to 8 hours. I'm going to send those to Giggles. That's their prize. And I'm giving away an hour consultation. You can ask me about anything, and totally free. Like I said, from yesterday, I put the offer up, the irresistible offer of anybody interested in me finding them products that will generate a minimum of $30,000 revenue per year on Amazon. Let me know. I'm taking on 20 clients. I already got a bunch. I think I only have about 12 spots left right now. So that filled up really quick because all those messages came in the beginning. And I've let everybody know that we're on. We'll set it up. I will find you 3 products. 3 products. You can have them all. If you want to watch them all, it's all up to you. 3 different price points, $15. And then I said 20 to 30. And then I said $40 to $75 price point. And then once you pick one, stage 2 will be I'll optimize your listing for you, your bullet points, and I'll give you a recommendation, my referral, my guy for your listing photos so that you get great photos, because photos are the most important thing, and your infographics. And then we'll keep in touch, and you'll scale that business, you'll scale that product, and that product will generate $30,000 for you. And if it doesn't, I'll give you your money back. But I'm pretty certain you'll make sales. And I'm pretty sure you'll make more than 30,000. So like I said, I got 12 more spots. So if you're interested, message me on Instagram at The Wise Guy. And I plan to probably put in the same amount of time that I'm doing right now with YouTube into those clients. And just so you know, when I do the bullet points for you, I always YouTube screen share those and give you guys private links so that you know exactly what I did. So you'll actually keep that information, and you'll have that for you so you can repeat and duplicate the process. Right on. Okay, let's chat. What's going on? So Brent, you went and scanned everything. That is awesome. Smash that like button. Love it. I'm gonna smash that like button right now. Does this group, $1 million bill, y'all, says, does this group more so pertain to private label or Amazon FBA? Well, Amazon FBA has nothing to do with it being private label. Amazon FBA, $1 million bill, y'all, means fulfillment by Amazon. It's just the vehicle. There's 2 kinds. There's fulfillment by Amazon, and then there's fulfillment by merchant, so FBM or FBA. So whether you fulfill it, meaning you ship all the orders to the customers, when orders come in, you got to pack it, box it, tape it up, provide the boxes, provide the shipping costs, send it to the customer, do the customer service, do the returns, answer their questions, all that type of stuff in a timely fashion. That's fulfillment by merchant. You got to cover the costs. You don't pay the pick and pack fees. You only pay the commission to Amazon when they get you that business. Then there's fulfillment by Amazon, which is you source all the inventory from wherever, whether you're doing China or locally and you're sourcing it, buying clearance stuff, which is retail arbitrage. You buy stuff from stores like I do, Dollarama, and all those stores I named. You source that inventory, you bring it back, you put it in boxes, you ship it to Amazon, and Amazon sell it for you. That's called fulfillment by Amazon. Fulfillment by Amazon sellers are Prime. So whenever you see you're buying Prime, you're buying from people who are selling fulfillment by Amazon, or you're buying from Amazon. If you don't see Prime offer or 2-day shipping, you don't see. If you see just free shipping but no Prime, those are fulfillment by merchant who are just offering free shipping. So there's a complete difference. In fact, fulfillment by Amazon sellers can sell for an increased price over fulfillment by a merchant and still have the buy box. So I can take a product, let's say you're selling for $25, but you're a merchant. I can sell that product for $27.50, make more money, and have the buy box and be more heavier priced than you. So there's the benefits. There's other benefits from selling fulfillment by merchant versus, or Amazon versus merchant. But those are two different things. Private label is a business model where if you want to start your own brand of products, your own, it's fulfillment by, so retail arbitrage and private label, here's the difference. When you're doing retail arbitrage, you're a professional shopper. Your profession is to go around sourcing product, really low prices, and sending that stuff to Amazon. You're a pro shopper. When you're doing private label, you're a professional product researcher. Two completely different things. Private label, you're sitting on your computer, you're researching products that have high demand, do staggering numbers every day, 10 units, 20 units, 50 units a day, depending on what the product is. You're trying to source those products from China and you give it your own brand, whether it's like a logo of a Christmas tree or whatever the case may be, doesn't matter. Whatever you want to call it, you're going to give it that brand and then you're going to create a listing for that brand, but you're a professional product researcher when you're doing private label. And then, of course, if you start a brand, you can start a brand of products and it can stem off from that. But private label, why I like it the most is because I don't have to go anywhere to get my products. I just have to go to my computer, find the products that I want to sell, and then I just need to source more inventory every time I need more inventory. I just source it from China and have that inventory shipped direct to Amazon. I don't ever have to even touch the product if I don't want to. I can just do my decision making, do my research, do my vetting, make sure that who I'm buying from and what I'm buying are winners, and the products are going to have a long life cycle, profitable for me. And then I just got to be really good at selling the product, creating great images so customers get attracted to what they're seeing. They see a benefit, it's going to solve their problem, and then my bullet points just reel them in at the end. And then, obviously there's other aspects that pertain to both businesses, but that's the difference between the two. And like founders of these businesses that do these tools, like Greg Mercer, these guys have a couple hundred private label products. Like they probably have more than I think they have now. And when the last I heard, they were over 200 to 300 personal products as sellers of products that do, 300-400 units a month, $10 profit, you name it. So, I mean, the whole original concept of private label was, and what everyone used to teach was find one product that sells 10 a day and does $10 profit, and you'll make yourself $3,000 profit. That's all changed. Even I've changed what I teach specifically. I talk more about find 3 products that do, 100 units a month, 3 a day. Find those products source less inventory up front, throw all three at the wall, and one of them will stick, and then you'll have a success. That's called a base hit for me. But there's still grand slams, there's still home runs, there's all those products available. So like $30,000, the whole irresistible offer that I put out there to everybody was $30,000 product. A $30,000 a year product is not a hard product to find, because that's only $3,000 in revenue a month, which is maybe like $900 profit a month for that person, which is not bad. $900 profit. I'm charging you $250 for that, for me to find those products for you. But it's not that hard. That's a base hit. I probably could come up with 1,000 base hits right now. At least 300, definitely 300 base hits right now. The grand slams and the home runs, those are the ones that do 300 units or 500 plus units a month, and they're a lot harder to find, right? So that's the whole idea. Base hit would be amazing. Well, 10 base hits would be amazing. RBIs, baseball is about RBIs, right? You win games with RBIs, not necessarily with home runs or grand slams. You win them with RBIs. So the more you can pile together, products that are staple products that last a long time, have a long life cycle, that aren't going to, the trend's not going to end at a certain month. It's not seasonal, that it's a year-round product. There are a lot of them out there. What the concern, $1 million bill, y'all, is that a lot of people don't have enough cash flow, so they just don't have the upfront capital to start. When I started our first private label product, I think I invested too much. It was unnecessary. But on my product, I could have invested $1,500 plus shipping, so about $1,800. But I ended up investing $800 US. But I ended up investing $3,300 US on my first product, because I decided to go with 1,000 units versus 500. Now I teach people, listen, just go for 166 units of each product and launch 3. So 500 units divided by 366 units of each. And some might cost you $1, some might cost you $4, some might cost you $8, just depending on what categories you want to launch in. It gives you that flexibility. Brent says you'll sell all your PL products in the US. You want to sell them on both platforms ultimately at the end of the day. I would say launch in Canada if you're from Canada first, launch in the US if you're from the US first. And like I said, the US is super competitive, so you got to kind of be good. Like, you really got to get your product there, and you have to work your listing, and you have to be willing to sacrifice no profit, just make what you invested back for the first 150 units, because what you want to do is you want to get reviews on that product so that product begins to rank up on page 1. You want to get reviews on that product. You want those product reviews to be good. You want people to be able to find you easily, so you got to do some pricing. You got to be able to pocket your pricing and not just start at the most expensive price. You got to start at a price where people will find you when they set it at, low to high or something like that I would do when I'm trying to find a product or buy something on Amazon. I'm going to put it at low. I'm going to see what products are on there, especially because I buy gizmos most of the time. So I always set it low to high, because I know that the gizmo I'm looking for is probably sold by 20 different sellers, right? And they all have their own listing. So the established sellers, I don't need their product, because I could probably find the same product with an unestablished seller and get it for $10 less, or whatever the case may be, half the price, because they're starting off, so they're going to sell it for less. Then I'm going to leave them a good review, because, do good, you get good. So $1 Million Baby says, but now have you saved up and want to try Amazon FBA seriously by sourcing by retail stores? You lost me, man. You lost me. I thought I explained, but you lost me. You're saying, now have I saved up enough to try Amazon FBA seriously by sourcing via retail stores? So yeah, I know we've spent $50,000 at Dollarama this year. So there's no issue there. We source and take. In fact, today, I just spent another $150 today. So yeah, seriously, FBA, fulfillment by Amazon, that's what you want to do. Don't do fulfillment by merchant. And retail arbitrage, yeah, that's what you want to do. That's what this channel is majorly about. It's about retail arbitrage because I'm sure you're new, so it'll help you get started. Go sign up your free account, turn into a pro account once you start selling some units. Go set up your free account, go get a box of 30 units. Go get 30 things from Dollarama or from a store. Put in a box, books, whatever you can sell. You're not going to be able to sell everything, so scan the product, see what you can sell. You're not going to be able to sell toys if you're new. You're going to be able to sell random things. Doesn't mean you shouldn't scan every toy, because you might be able to, but I think toys in general is gated for all new sellers. So, but scan everything, scan shampoos and scan clothes and inserts and you name it. Scan everything you can think of. Scan cleaning supplies and brooms and mops and plungers and everything that you can think of as you go up and down those aisles. And eventually you'll find products that look good. And watch this channel. Hit the notification button. Go join my free Facebook group called Amazon FBA Products. Hey, did you guys realize I've been banned from all Facebook right now because I spammed my video that one time. Then when I went to post yesterday, this is funny, but I couldn't post. I can't post till May 24th. So if you're wondering why I'm not active in my group, because I can't even post in my own group because I try to upload my videos on like all these platforms. Anyway, won't do that again. That was hilarious. So yeah, go start your account and get started. Retail arbitrage is that simple. Go to Walmart, scan things. Download the Amazon Seller Central app. I always say if you're a new seller and you're having trouble finding products, fall back on books. Fall back on books. Start scanning books, reselling books. Cross-region push notifications are now available. You can now receive push notifications from all your Amazon selling marketplaces that were linked through your linked accounts. Please take a moment to review your push notifications. All right. Mine are all turned in except for lost buy box. Oh, you can turn in lost buy box when I lose a buy box? Wow, that's a game changer. Check that out. Brent, you're probably interested in this. Why is it the only one that's not turned on? So I can turn on when I lose a buy box, and then real time I can drop my price. Because I don't have all of my auto pricers turned on. When a buyer files a complaint, prime order notification. I mean, some of these are for fulfillment by merchant. Black Stack Tube says, if you match the buy box price, who gets the sale? It rotates like tires. So if there's 4 people, you would get it, then I would get it, then Brent would get it, then $1 Million Bail y'all would get it, then it go back to you. And that's seller etiquette. So to keep your price high, just match high. Don't drop unless you only have like 6 units and you want to blow that out, then beat them by 2 cents. Blow out your inventory. But look, if you have a lot of inventory and you want to keep etiquette high, keep your prices high, just match, rotate through that buy box, especially if you're selling a lot every day. Just keep the price up. No need to blow everybody out. But again, if you're just want to be aggressive and you want to start dropping, then they're going to drop the price and you're going to play the drop game. So just match and it'll rotate through. Your metaphors are on point tonight, Chris. Love it. Thank you. I'm just so let's go through some of my sales today. Some of my sales. Here we go. I'm dropping. What are these called? They're called Easter eggs. So at some point in this video, people got to stay long enough to get my Easter eggs. So orthopedic pacifiers selling for $20. I got those for $4. We sold 1, 2, 3, 4 of those today. I think 4. 2, 1, 2. And then someone bought 2. Yeah, 4. Here's another one because I can't find this in inventory anymore. So I'm going to throw this Easter egg out. Dream tents. We've always killed it with dream tents all year. And today on the Dream Tents, get another $4 inventory. We're selling for 20. 1, 2, 3. I'm counting how many we've done in the last. Let me click this Dream Tent. See if I can go through it a different way. Dream Tents. I know. I think we sold at least 10 in the last couple of days. Selling for $20 each. They actually fluctuate because there's a few different versions of that tent that we've been finding. I don't have a metaphor for that one, Brent. Funko toys are great. There's another gem for you. Scan your Funko toys. Here's one for you because I can't find this inventory from the life of me, but this has been a really good one. Retail arbitrage. Really good one, retail arbitrage. Johnson's bedtime baby bath wash. Johnson's bedtime baby bath wash. And I'm probably not going to enough stores to look for that inventory, but that's a product that is multiples for me, multiples for you. Meaning one customer will buy 1, or they'll buy 2, or they'll buy 4, or they'll buy 10 from you in one sale. So you can take what you're selling for and keep this in mind. It's something that you would buy for $4. And if you have the right products, they're selling for $20 each and have been for years because they're seeked out by parents, crazy parents with love for their babies that want to spend $20 a bottle. So I just recently sold 4 to one customer today of that one product. So cost was $16, sold for $80. And that's Johnson's baby bath soaps and shampoos. There's an Easter egg for you. Make sure you join my course. Right now it's $100. That course is going to go back. I'm going to jack it right back up to 500 pretty soon. I just feel like it. Once I'm done these 100 lives, I might as well just put it back up. Course is young, so join the course. It's $100 right now. Join the club. Join Brent and I in the club so that you're around people who are selling on Amazon and you can start to learn, products that you should be trying to source and, seasons, what you should source, where you should source. You can just ask questions and get feedback. Anything you can think of, really. You need to be like anything. Your business model should be learn from the best, duplicate what has already been, duplicate the system. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. There you go. There's a metaphor. People with great mindsets, exactly. People who are willing to wake up at 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. and go to bed at 4. Making that course was I don't think I'd even spent, it was a couple of weeks of solid 6 till 3 a.m. every night, day in, day out, with a lot of prep and a lot of work and a lot of research and a lot of time and a lot of cut, redo, over and over and over again. So making that course was a process, but it was a lot of work. And then waking up and doing a full-time Amazon business and doing a full-time job and then putting together content and doing a full-time course, a lot of value in that course. So make sure you're doing that. Join that course, $100. Set yourself up. Surround yourself with rock stars. Respect. Yeah, that course is definitely Corvette worthy. Absolutely. We'll get that Corvette 2021 edition. Sales weren't that great today, though. I'll say that. They were slower today. It's actually the slowest day of the week so far. The night's still young, though. Right on. Okay, so what do we got here? So Where's my book? Hold on, give me a sec. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get my book so I can tell you guys what's on tomorrow. I should probably sit in my office and do some lives from my office. I got like a good background. It's all video games. I think tomorrow I'm going to give you guys a bonus. Tomorrow I'm going to show you all the video games that I have. And we'll do some scans on them. And we'll explore those. And I'll show you the scans. See what they're worth. Used video games. Excuse me. Maybe I'll create a shipment of those. Why am I burping? Maybe I'll create a shipment of those used video games. They've been ready to go. I have so many that are just sitting there. But I know a lot of you are interested in video games and the money from video games. That is a whole world in itself. Like used books, used video games are a profitable place to be. Used DVDs, used VHS tapes, used records. Look into all those. Those are huge. So quickly before we keep chatting, what is going to be on 007? I'm excited, man. I'm gonna watch a James Bond movie. What James Bond movie should I watch? Let me know right now. I'm gonna watch, like, who's your favorite James Bond? Who is your favorite James Bond? Sean Connery? Favorite James Bond. I'm gonna watch James Bond movie in there we go. So we got Daniel Craig, obviously. Is his, because he just did one. Is his movie on like Netflix or anything? Gotta check. Sean Connery all the way. Pierce Brosnan. Roger Moore. Respect Roger Moore. Timothy Dalton. George Lazenby. And David Niven. Don't even Casino Royale. That's the original Casino Royale. Daniel Craig, he's pretty awesome though. Yeah, you got to respect Daniel Craig. He's pretty awesome. Pierce Brosnan, nah. Roger Moore, yeah, he's kind of, when I was young, he was the James Bond I knew. Sean Connery, Bond, James Bond. Sir Roger. Which was the best Sir Roger Moore? Let's see what was his best one. What was his best Bond? Roger Moore. But tomorrow's 007. It's the 7th live straight. I don't know what time I'll go live on that one. Princess. Bonds are forever. The Miracle, Naked Face, Bullseye. Those are just his movies. Anyway, I'm gonna probably end up watching a Daniel Craig one. Release date November 25th, 2020. Oh, he hasn't even come out yet? Shit. Okay. Looks so good. Looks so good. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, tomorrow, what are we going to talk about? We are going to talk about, I'm not going to talk about that. Yeah, let's do this. So keep with the private label theme. Is it safe to buy from Alibaba? Or how to safely buy from Alibaba? Let's talk a little bit about that. Listen, if you're going to source inventory, there's a lot of platforms. I think I put 15 of them in my course. 15 different platforms to source from. If you're going to source inventory, you got to know you got to know the risk you're taking. Whether you're going on like a popular one like DHgate, or you're going to Alibaba, or you're going to AliExpress, you're going to madeinchina.com. There's a lot of them. But you got to know how to navigate in there and what buttons to click and how to protect yourself while you're in those sites. And I've heard of horror stories. I've never personally had a horror story, knock on wood. I have had one on DHgate where my inventory just never showed up It's like it was a bizarre one. I had ordered some bizarre inventory, and it shipped. And I think literally when it arrived in our country, for some reason it didn't come to me. It ended up just getting shipped back to China. I think, because when I talked to Canada Post and I finally kind of got to the bottom line, what the guy said is, he goes, I think this was misread. Instead of shipping it to you, they ended up shipping it back to the original address. It was bizarre. So I ended up going back, like, they just read it wrong and it shipped on. I'm like, how would that happen? It didn't make any sense, but it did. Like, it dropped in Sweden or somewhere out there, and then came back, and then all of a sudden it was here in Montreal, supposed to come to me, and then all of a sudden it went back to Sweden. Called DHgate, or connected with DHgate via the app. I said, Tom, look, it's ridiculous. It's been too long, blah, blah, blah. I would like to get a refund. And no issues dealing with DHgate. It was a level of customer service I was impressed by. They refunded my money right away. So there's protection there. You just have to know how to deal with the suppliers that provide that protection. Okay. And then there's other companies that actually have, services where they have already vetted all the suppliers and really give you brands. I don't deal with those, but they give you suppliers that you can deal with that are 100% trustworthy. And nothing is really 100% trustworthy. But personally, I haven't any bad experience other than receiving my product and having to get a refund, to which I was given a full refund, and that was no problem. So we'll talk about how to safely buy from a place like Alibaba. And let's talk about how to create a listing on Amazon. So what I'm going to do for people who opt in with me for the private label product, where I sourced them a bunch, is I'm going to create listings. I'm going to give you an overview on how I approach creating listings that are winners, that will get you on page one and keep you on page one, and how to, because you create a listing once, it's not done. You're going to edit your listing, okay? But what I'll talk about, what I'm looking for when I edit my listing, what am I trying to achieve? Essentially, what am I split testing with? How am I split testing on my bullet points? So I'll give you a little bit of insight on that. Creating a listing. This is private label. How do you rank on Amazon is really those things: your pictures, your listing, your just keywords in your back end, all that type of stuff. So I'll give you kind of the overview on that. And these are important. Listen, if you're trying to get rich, you got to sell private label products. You got to launch your own product, because you have full control, no competition other than other sellers, but you have no one on your listing driving down your price, like, say, Retail Arbitrage, where there could be 20 of us on this listing selling this product. There could be 20 of us, versus your private label product is your own listing. And sure, you'll get a couple people on there jumping in and out trying to sell your product, and you can deal with those people. And I show you how in my course to deal with those, because you can deal with those. You can get those people off your listing. You can protect your listing with brand registry and all that type of stuff. But we'll talk about how to rank your listing so that it gets discovered, and as it ranks on page one, that's where all the sales are. The meat of the sales are up on page one. So somehow you got to get your listing there. We'll talk about that. And I think, and then we'll talk about this last one. We'll do 4. How do I increase my Amazon FBA sales? How do I increase my Amazon FBA sales? And I'll talk about retail arbitrage, and I'll talk about private label, because they're two completely different systems for both. My private label course has 6 modules, dedicated to private label, and 1 or 2, depending on how you really think about it, dedicated to retail arbitrage. And I'm sure like some of the concepts are important for retail arbitrage, but you don't have to create a listing. The listings are already there for retail arbitrage. You don't have to do photos. You control your price, you manage your listings and that type of stuff, but it's already there with retail arbitrage. With retail arbitrage, the system is grass. With private label, the system is that you create the entire experience for the customer. So I've never come up with an acronym per se or for the private label things, because it's an action plan. It's an action plan. It's a process of just creating everything from scratch. So it's a little different. And actually, I did create a system in some of my videos. I kind of use the term, what is it? What is the term I'm thinking of? Hybrid. Okay, so I kind of came up with, everybody knows my retail arbitrage concept or system is grass, grow your inventory, run your ads, auto pricer, swim, scan, or sell what inventory is moving, source what inventory is moving, call it swimming, and then scan everything. Like Brent said, he scanned everything. You got to get in the stores. You got to scan everything. That's retail arbitrage. That's really your life and wheel retail arbitrage. And sure, there's some other ones. But going back to the question of how do I increase my Amazon FBA sales, if you're doing retail arbitrage and you ask me that question, I'm gonna go to grass. If you ask me the question, how to increase my sales, Chris, what's going on? Here's what's going on. I haven't had any sales. I've had all the questions. Then I'll always go to grass. So how much inventory do you have? Have you turned on your auto pricer? No, what's that? There we go. And then I just teach that part of it. Okay, I turn on auto pricer. I got this much inventory and I turned on my auto pricer. Okay, let's look at the inventory. Okay, have you run any ads? Because these are pretty high ranked stuff. Well, I'm not. The ads are too expensive. I can't afford it. You can't afford 5 cents a click. Like to sell a product and make $5 and have to spend 17 cents. You can't afford that. You're ridiculous. But it all leads to grass, right? So that was created by myself. I take full credit for that. I'm patenting that. I'm trademarking grass. So don't steal that from me. And then on the other side in private label, I did talk a lot, and maybe I should really focus on this, but hybrid is private label for me, but hybrid is about using retail arbitrage to build not just retail arbitrage, but to be able to build your private label business from the concept of not just singular, but multiple units, and how to test products on Amazon. So hybrid, it's a blend right now because I never sat there and actually put it all together into a system. So I'm going to talk about right now. I'm going to give you some bonus content, guys. So listen close, because this is important stuff. This is really important stuff, because this could define your $100,000 business, where you're making $100,000. You built a hybrid business or a private label business. You have products and they're selling, and you've never touched the listings for months and months. You just wait till the inventory is done, but you never have to do anything else. How hybrid kind of came to me years ago is when I launched my one product, my very first product. I was told to just go find a product that's doing well, run it by me, and we'll look at it together, and I'll say yay or nay, and I'll give you my advice. And I got a couple nays before I found the yay. I found one product, and then I put all my eggs in that basket. And like I said, I ended up spending about $9,000 to launch my business, about $3,600 US. Convert that all to Canadian, all that type of stuff. $3,600 on the product, then buying a laptop, $1,000 there, and then all the different things. Then I went and did some retail arbitrage. Cost of a course, Jungle Scout. I paid for the whole year up front for Jungle Scout, so that was $600 right there. And then I bought the Chrome extension. That was another $150 right there. So I was all in. There was no 2 feet out, 1 foot in, a toe in, no free account. I had a full account. I was paying for it all. right? So that was me. And I sourced my product, decided my product, I paid for my product, and then I started playing on the back end and learning and studying and putting in the time to learn how this business grows, because I've already had 20 years experience in retail. So now I just got to learn how Amazon retail works. So that's how I was taught, singular, app product, go find app product. All the people in my group, in my course, also did app product. And so many of them failed or launched a product that, like fidget spinners, they launched and did extremely well for 4 months, made thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and took that money and reinvested into fidget spinners, thinking that this thing was going to be a lifelong, like the Rubik's Cube or something like that. When in fact, it hit a cliff and nosedive and died, hit the rocks and completely died. There was no recovery. So all these people who had their money in fidget spinners and made all this money and ended up reinvesting it back into the product and borrowing money to reinvest into more product because they were selling a staggering amount. Be careful when you sell as much volume as those guys were selling the first time, because you get caught up in that. You get so excited. You're making $1,000 a day. These guys were making $1,000. They were selling 100 units. Some of them were selling these units for $20, $30 a unit and selling 50 a day, running all their inventory in one day because they were only able to afford 50 units. I mean, they came into the business only being able to afford 50 units at whatever, $3, $4 a unit. $150 investing because these guys were broke. And then it would sell out and go, wow, I sold all my inventory in a day. I need more. And they would source more and they get to Amazon, 10 days later. But their listing, because they were out of inventory, would go to the back of the line. Like there were so many red flags with those businesses or those sellers. And my whole experience, my point is that I was told not to go down that route. So I didn't. And I went and looked for a product that would last a long period of time, that had a life cycle. I talked to people in my business about products and about life cycles. I talked to the inventory manager. I talked to all these different levels. People had run Best Buys in multiple companies. I talked to them, asked them questions. Okay, tell me about this, tell me about that. So I ended up deciding on a single product, and I put my sweat equity into that product, developed that product, developed listing. I probably developed 5 or 6 bullet point sets after I finally came down to one that I liked the most, or one that was working the most. So I was doing split testing even when I didn't realize what split testing was, or coined as split testing. But I would just put up a set of selling keywords and statements that I thought attracted the customer. And if I didn't see enough sales in a day, I would edit it out and let's try this. Then I would see a dip or go up, and then I'd edit it out and let's try this set. Then I would see growth. Then I would let's switch this picture to page 1 and see if that catches more attention. Then I would let's put this particular image or this person instead of a girl. Let me put a guy. Let's see if it's more attractive. What's the demographic? Without looking into demographics of products, I was essentially trying to figure that out through sales, okay, trial and error, okay, and eventually it started to catch on. Then let's run this ad, let's do manual, let's do an automatic, let's get those keywords, let's get the manual ones going out there. Whatever I could do to get sales, I was doing it. Let me reach out to my friends, hey, can you leave me a review? A time when you weren't supposed to do that, but I was doing it anyway. Now you can't really do that ever, okay? But I was doing it, getting my reviews, and then people were buying my products, and I was sending them manual responses. Hey, how do you like that product? Or hey, just heads up, that product is in production. It's going to ship to you. Hey, here's your tracking number, whatever. I was always in contact with customers through a customer service process, ultimately trying to get reviews at the end, because that was my main goal, to a point where I got 5 reviews. I think I got like 4. I tried running PPC ads with no reviews. That didn't work. I just ended up wasting a lot of money, didn't get a single sale, because I was told, don't do that. Don't run a PPC ad if you don't have any reviews. It won't work. But I tried it anyway. Didn't work. Lost money. So then finally got reviews. I think I got 3. I started running my ads, and it got some traction. And then I think by 5 reviews, it started to grow. And eventually I started to change my price. Okay, I was like, okay, let's pocket my prices. Let's try this price. What kind of sales am I getting? Let's try that price. What kind of sales am I getting? Okay, we'll sit at this price because sales are decent. And then I would jump. Like I went from 14, I think, to like 18, $4 jump. And I remember sales going from like 6 a day to like 3 a day. But I was making more money selling 3 a day. But I wanted more reviews, so I dropped it back down, just playing. And then eventually it grew up to 10 sales a day. And that was the whole, you've reached the mountaintop. That's what the goal was. And I didn't stop there. I wanted to grow my sales. So I kept on playing and doing what I had already been doing. And then eventually what happened was I was able to get to the price that my goal was. I wanted to get to $19.99. That was the price. That was the price I was taught. That was the price you got, the $10. You can make $10 profit. For me, it was $19.99, where I was making like $9.11, which is to me 10. Okay, I think to everybody who rounds up in this business. $4 profit, I'm making $10 profit on that. So I got there and I was getting 10 sales a day, $10 profit. Reviews were starting to kick in. I started working with companies like obviously Jungle Scout because I'd already invested $800 US. So I was like, hey, let's check out what JumpSend is all about. And I tried putting JumpSend on my product. And for whatever reason, JumpSend didn't work in Canada. So my products weren't uploading onto the JumpSend platform, which is a platform that will allow you to automate your reviews so that people buy your products automatically. After they purchase, they get a message. 2 days later, or when it ships, they get a message. 7 days after they receive it, or whatever. There's just steps through. 7 days after, they get a message. 21 days later, they get a message. How's your product? How do you like it? Please leave us an honest review. Tell us what you think right here. And it has all these built-in cues, all with the effort to grow your reviews, because that's what I was taught. And it started tumbling. And eventually, I think, like I said, I've said it many times, we went from $56 to $500 or $5,600 in 5 weeks through this whole work ethic of trying to get my single listing, to do well. Meanwhile, all these other sellers that I had grown up with were doing well without having to learn how to actually do well. They put a product out that did extremely well. So when that product failed, so did they, because they didn't have a foundation, or they didn't have the knowledge or base or understanding of how to actually create every part of their listing and their photos and work until that product did well. And then you could even make it do better than it did. You can increase the sales, grow the sales, all that type of stuff. So I saw a lot of people fail and never return because they did one product, failed, and they got sucked into and were in debt because of the product and never really returned. And even other experience I've talked to guys, I've seen guys just not return. They're like, it doesn't work, guys. Whatever the excuses. I'm like, really? My hybrid system that I started I started calling it hybrid because I was working on launching product number 2 and then launching product number 3. My second product was a singular product because this is what I had been taught, was to launch one. My second product failed, and it took 3 years for it to finally succeed. Not until COVID hit did it actually succeed. And the reason it failed originally is because there was too much competition. And I tried to get in on there and try to work through that competition. And my product, I either had to sell it and not make any money and just sell the product. And I didn't think it would ever do well because there was just so much competition. And it failed and just never did good. And that's, I think, if you're a new seller launching one product and that first product fails, I can understand why you would just quit selling on Amazon. Because especially if you don't have the cash flow, you probably wouldn't recover from it, or your perception was like, it doesn't work, when reality is you probably didn't work it right. You weren't educated enough to work out the glitches and the kinks properly. And if you're going to put all your eggs in one basket, you can both feet in. You better be both feet in and ready to swim, and not quit and not give up. And so my second product failed, but I had 500 units of inventory, and it wasn't an expensive product. The benefit is my second product cost me $2 a unit, so it was only $1,000 investment. And the other benefit was I had a product that was killing it. It was doing 15 sales per day on average at $20 per unit. So that's $300 in sales from that one product. That's $150 profit per day from my first product. It was killing it. And to this day is still my number one selling product. Second one failed. So I didn't quit, but it slowed me down in that I was hesitant to launch more. Started launching accessories for my first product. So, well, let's build on my first one, build on its success. Started launching accessories that I could get for really cheap, under 50 cents, under 10 cents accessories. So I'm like, oh, if I can get this for 8 cents each, why don't I just buy 1,000? That's like $80, wherever it was. So I did those things. Another mistake. Wasn't a high demand product, even though it was a product that complemented the whole industry. It wasn't a high demand product. So it didn't really sell a lot. So I was sitting on too much inventory at Amazon, which cost me money in storage. So kind of a failure. Again, that product now today does well, but I wouldn't keep it running once I run out of inventory. I've dumped inventory, just had Amazon toss inventory on it. So it was a better move. Two brings me to hybrid. So now I'm like thinking about, well, how can I, these guys are failing because they're launching one products. How can I fix this problem? That's my whole thing. I always try to think of solutions. And I started doing a lot of retail arbitrage. Obviously, you see my channel, it's a lot of retail arbitrage. And I started noticing that certain products I was buying had really good reviews, but they were generic products. They were everyday products. And I started thinking, well, I remember sourcing one product that I could get 50 units of, and I put it on my Amazon channel, or excuse me, I put it on my Amazon store. And right away, first day I think it sold 5, second day it sold 7, third day it sold 10, 15. I'm like, this is a generic product. And then I had another generic product. I didn't source as much inventory, maybe like 10 or so. And it's funny because that product I see a lot of now everywhere in the stores. I'm like, oh, I got to go scan that. But what I ended up doing was coining the term hybrid. And I talk about these in videos before, if you've heard me say it. A hybrid is when I take a retail arbitrage product and I turn it into my own private label product. So I look into it, I see if it's patented. It's obviously not patented because these things have been around forever and patents are run out. And I looked into it and all the patents expired or they weren't renewed or whatever the case may be. So I started converting these to my own brands, and I converted both of them successfully, and they both have done well over $30,000, well over $30,000. And one is seasonal. So one has a huge peak and then drops down to like an average of 3 a day. And when it's peaking, in some days, it'll do 20 units. And people will buy multiples. This peak season is like the summer through to about 6 months, starting in about March, about 6 months. And then it drops down to just nice numbers for, I think, like it drops down to 30. And it peaks at 100. So it's probably averages about 70,000 revenue a year. And it's my least expensive product. I sourced the inventory, 40 cents a unit, bundled times 4 is $1.60 US. And I'm currently retailing it for $25. So the profit is ridiculous. I think I'm at $15 profit. It's my lightest product as well. And I can get that inventory. And I just re-upped my inventory on that. It's on its ship and it's on its way to Amazon. And then the other one, same product, just did well. It was a retail arbitrage product. I said, well, if I can source these, popular, did well. I think I sold the 10 I sourced within the first week. So I just looked into it and created that one as well. And that's how I came up with a hybrid. The hybrid is the idea of taking retail arbitrage products that are doing well for you and turning them into your private label products. And then I decided, well, would it not make sense to teach my students and this was after my course. My course actually teaches a singular model, but I still talk about it a lot, is what if you launched 3 units instead of 1? Because people were launching 1 and failing still. What if you launched 3, but you didn't do 500 units? You did 166 of each product. Because in my experience, it takes 150 max to figure out if that product is going to do well on a Canadian market for you or not. And some people might argue with me, but personally, my experience is, look, if I can't get it ranked within 150 units of selling it for bare bones and not making any money on it, I'm probably never going to get ranked. But if I can sell 150 at bare bones and get ranks and get reviews and get it ranked on page 1 at some point, then it will become a successful product. And that's what happened to my second product, is that I literally only now have gone through 150 units, but in the last 2 weeks, it went from 1 a month to 5 a day, 7 a day in the last 2 weeks. And that's because all the competition sold out. And now I rose to the top, and I'm the only one with over 300 units of inventory. Now that inventory is starting to deplete. It's a $2 product for me. So now I can, so if you don't quit, you will succeed selling on Amazon. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. But that's not the strategy you want. You don't want to invest all this stuff and have it take 3 years for it to actually do well for you. So the whole concept of hybrid, and maybe I have to add something to that, is to do three units, source 3 units, and throw all 3 units on Amazon and work hard to optimize all 3 units. You're going to learn the process, and you're going to become a master, an expert at making your Amazon products, making them rank, not just waiting for them rank, but actually making them rank. And one of them is going to stick. One of them is going to stick, and 2 are going to struggle. What's the worst thing that can happen? All 3 of them do well, right? That's the worst thing. Or what's the other worst thing that can happen? You have 3 products in your inventory, so your inventory is growing. You have 3 products instead of 1, so you're more vested versus just having 1. You have 3. What's the worst thing that happened? None of them rank. You have 3 there, but you only spent money on 500 units in total instead of 1,000 like me. So what do you do next? Why not try to send another 3 to Amazon? All of a sudden, you have 6 products. Okay, so 3, 6. Okay, so your first 3 don't do well, so you try another 3, and all of a sudden you have more experience. You now know how you failed with the first 3, and maybe you learned from those failures, and the next 3 that you decide to send are going to be not of an inexperienced product researcher. Because remember what I said, you're in the product research business when you're in private label. You're becoming an expert at researching products. You're becoming an expert at scanning products, scanning everything, and with your eyes going, let me check that product in the private label market and see how well that product is doing, and if I can convert it. So your hybrid opportunities are there. And 3, the idea with 3 products is, if you can get 3 products, I just throw up a thumb. Smash the like button right now if you're on. Let's see what we can get the likes up to. I'm gonna wait before I drop this gem. Anyone hasn't smashed yet, let's see if we can get it to 7. Smash that like button. So I've been taught this little gem here. Let me just see what Brent's saying. He's going off. Love it. Go big or go home, baby. A/B split testing. Love it. This is amazing, Chris. You must have been so happy. Yeah, I was. My wife was happy. She don't have to worry anymore after that happened. Life changing right there. Absolutely. Did you have to pay fees to keep that inventory on Amazon for 3 years? Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, Amazon's been sitting there, and stores fees out the yeah. I wonder. I should check. I should actually check. I honestly avoid it. I avoid it because it's a failure. I avoid the pain. So, I mean, all my other products I'm not worried about it, but I avoid it. And yes, I am paying long-term storage fees on those. So I'll check that for you. I'll see what I'm actually incurring on that one product. Smash that like button, guys. Smash it. Share, subscribe. Okay, so years ago, I was taught this concept, and I apply it to this business, and this is the absolutely dead on truth with any income streams. We talked about income streams. We talked about investment. We talked about all the different types of income streams in Amazon. 3 products. If you launch 3 products, you can be free. So 3, you're free. 6, you're rich. And I said this yesterday. 3 products, you're free. I even equated to 3 business models. So if you're doing books, retail arbitrage, and private label, and they're all doing well, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to grow those to a point where you're able to quit your day job. Like I said, so many people have just watched my YouTube channel and have launched businesses, and I've helped them just from DMs. And they've grown their business to hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, of millions of dollars in sales. And they were like, hey, I just got my first sale today, Chris, to like, hey, I'm about to do a meal. 3 products free, 6 you're rich. Okay. Especially in private label. If you can get 6 products in private label that are doing well for you, there's no reason you can't. What is rich to you? I mean, I equated at making $250 a year. So I would say that's rich. You want to be rich, that's rich. If you're able to duplicate that, like a Greg Mercer, where you're ambitious enough to get to 200 plus products on the private label game. If you're like Amazon 8-figure seller, where you have 200 plus products and you're doing $10 million in sales, you're rich. Okay. But you got to be ambitious, driven, again, motivated like myself to really dive in and learn and split test and try things and fail and not quit and not give up, because obviously the potential is there. Obviously Amazon's doing $150 billion. Why can't in Canada, if they're doing 20 billion or 30 billion, why can't you get a piece of that pie? Truly believe that. Even if they're doing, even if they're in Canada is 300,000 sellers, 30,000 of us are doing over 100,000. What really is stopping you from getting part of that, And I think it's sometimes for most people it's just like fear of failure, so they never start. Procrastination, so they never start. For me, it was just quite the opposite. I just needed to see somebody who came across authentic and had some kind of social proof of what it was that they were doing and how they were successful. Maybe some other people. And then I just wanted to kind of hear it. And then I looked into it. I just really looked into it. I just looked into Jungle Scout a little bit, and I just looked at our videos, and I thought, man, if this kid can do it, I can definitely do this. And then I had to just put 2 and 2 together and go, well, Chris, freaking it's Amazon. It's the biggest company on the planet. It's the Walmart of the sky. How is it that they would, how is it, I don't know what people are saying. People say like it's a scam. I'm like, fucking scam, what the hell? Because it's called Amazon FBA. It sounds like a pyramid scheme. Anyway, so I just like, that's enough credibility for me. Now let's just jump on it. I took the course. I consumed the course in 4 hours. Boom. And then that's why I put out more content. Proud of that. And my course is like 10 plus hours. And I just went straight into it. I just went straight into sourcing product, straight into emailing them. Hey, what's going on, coach? Chris here. got to run some stuff by you. Same engagement that I give my students is like as fast as I can do it. Crazy enough, I need more of you to email me, because the problem is, if you're one of my students, DM me is fine on platforms that I use all the time, which is really Instagram. I don't use Facebook other than just to put stuff up there, but I barely ever go on there other than to see family things. But I did see one of my students message me on there, and I don't know who it was, but if you are watching this and you message me on Facebook, I can't find your message. It was there and then it was gone, and I have no clue how to find it anymore. No clue. So I'm feeling, literally I felt bad all day because I'm like, oh, frick. He sent me a message on Tuesday and I haven't responded. And I'm a guy that likes to respond within the minute if I can. I'm responding to YouTube videos faster than my students right now because some of my students are messaging me on different platforms that I'm not really using. So I got to figure that out. It's 100% my fault because it's probably on my Amazon Seller Central, or no, my Amazon Seller Hustle channel, one of the channels. And the problem is I'm banned from my own channel right now. So on the 24th, I'll respond to you. But if you email me, coachchrispect@gmail.com, if you're a student, I'll respond to you because those are coming up alerts. I respond immediately. If you DM me on Instagram, I'll respond immediately. Literally, if you ask me a question on my YouTube channels, I'm responding right away. And everybody knows that. So, and I'm here to help. And like I said, $250 will get you me. I'll source you the freaking product, and I put my name behind it, put my guarantee behind it. I'll give you money back if that product doesn't do well for you. And now that you know how much time, and I have not even explained it nearly enough as to how I dissected private label. You would be, what I've told you is probably 10% of how much work I put into dissecting how exactly to market products using photos and using word porn, if you will, that captures people's attention and solves their problem and is relatable and sells them emotionally. Because I don't just put one thing up. And that's why my listing scores are like 7s and 8s. I've not had a 9. I don't know how to get a 9 listing score for Jungle Scout when they rate your actual listing. I don't know how to get a 9. And I've tried everything. But 7s or 8s are better than what most of these people are at, which are at 4s and 5s, which is absolutely ridiculous. So 30,000 is lowball. I'm obviously looking for home runs, not just base hits for you guys. I'm looking for grand slams, home runs in 3 different price points. So you'll have 3 different price points to choose from, whether it's $15 and you just want to sell 15, 20 a day, or a $20 to $30 price point that has $10+ profit and whatever, we'll use the 10 a day number. Or you want to be up in the $20, $25 profit per sale, and you're selling like a $40 to $75 product, and you're gonna bring it in overseas, but it's in its category of its own. Because keep in mind, 40% of the sellers are in the price point under $30. So once you get all of these, you have less competition, especially in our market. So you can get into these, as long as you pick the right product. It really is about the product. Okay. You want to launch a product that's long term. $250 is a value. $250 is a deal. I charge $750 minimum. In fact, we're launching a $15,000 program for elite sellers. So if you've done $1 million in sales, if you've done $2 million in sales, then you can join the elite program, which is just a handful of us that will be offering our services to others. We have, again, it's just concept stuff, right? So we'll get there, but I just kind of dropping a little egg here and there. The base stuff, $250, gets you 3 products, and then pick one, and then I will optimize those products for you and show you, video record it of me going through the process for you. And then you like I said, you have to do it yourself, or you're going to be that person that when that product fails, because products fail, that you'll nosedive and quit. And I don't want that to happen. So you have to learn and do yourself too. But you have my support, and that's always the case. And join my course, $100, because you get support forever with me. So if you're in this game for a long run, you want to make some money, 3 you're free, 6 you're rich. Hybrid Amazon, hybrid, what are we going to call it? Hybrid 36? Hybrid 36? No, I don't want to call it hybrid 36. I like acronyms. Hybrid. So I'll have to think about it, but my private label side of things and what I teach is really just private label, product, and then retail arbitrage, grass. That's it. So tomorrow, is it safe to buy from Alibaba? How to create a listing on Amazon? How do I increase my Amazon FBA sales? What is Amazon FBA? And how do you rank on Amazon FBA? And by rank, meaning how do you rank on page 1, 2, or 3? How do you rank? How do you start moving up the rankings on Amazon FBA? So we're going to talk about those 4 things tomorrow, 007 day. So make sure you guys go and watch 007. Tell me what movie you watch, and we'll have some fun there. That was awesome, guys. We went for 2 hours. Any questions in this last 4 minutes? Hit me up. Let's see what we got here. Brent says, do you have to pay fees? Oh, yes. I just read that one. I read that a long time ago. Any other questions? Hit me up right now. Let me know. Message me on Instagram at The Wise Guy on Instagram if you're interested in starting your private label business with me helping you out, with me helping you earn $9,000. I guess that would be $9,000 over the course of the year. For $250 investment can get you to 9. And I guarantee you I'm lowballing it, but that's my guarantee, is that you will make third. But if you know me by now, you know that I put a lot of work into what I do. So thank you, Brent. Appreciate it. They're getting better because I do a little more prep. I'm not as tired as I am, even though I've only slept for 4 hours. And I was tired yesterday. I was tired. Smash that like button before you leave. Tag someone on this video. Share it. Let me know if you have any questions right now. Retail arbitrage, any sourcing questions, any storage questions. Let me know where you're from. I don't even know if I even put the retail arbitrage section in there. Doesn't look like anything. So I am out of here, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow, 007 day. Coach Chrispect, the Wise Guy. Peace.